Welcome once again to Octane Mobile Gaming. Today we do our possible deck combination. With the support card, you have quite a variation that you could put together to create a deck. So with this combination that we're looking at currently, I've used the support card as the lead card. This is for people who have only obtained one support card from the collection. If you have two support cards, it's even better. I'm running free support card from previous commander events. So I'm running this one, Magnus Iron Will. I'm running Menacing Tikbalang, 2 copies of that one, and I'm running this one, which is a featured card from the current event. So this one you can obtain from the 5-star collection, or you could obtain it from the vault. I'm also running 5 relic. I've got 4 copies of the current relic. I've got the ultimate relic, and I've got the rare relic and 2 copies of the main relic. But if you haven't got lots of copy of the current relic, you can just use 1 copy of the current relic and commander relics from previous commander events work just as well. You might not create a lot of power gems, but you still create lots of gems on your first turn, which is the main point anyway, so that you can get off to a good start. Now this combination, I'm using 4 copies of a support card. Because I went so deep within the vault, I actually collected quite a few support cards, and I've managed to evolve all of my support cards to 6-star, which is quite good. What I'm using on this particular combination is Sheena, which is a master collection card from a previous commander event, and this particular card is just to give me a bit of power gems. My support cards will give me immunity, and they will create gems as well. The thing that I am particularly happy about with the support card is each time you attack, they will create gems on the board, so you won't be short of a few gems on the board. This combination is the one that I'm using for the ultimate. I'm also using it for the quest, and it works really well. At no point so far have I needed to use any of my battle skills, because every time I attack, from the word go, when my relics populate the board and I swap my gems, I'm just creating gems and power gems turn after turn. So until I probably get up to the stronger ultimate bosses, which is normally on day 5, I probably won't need to use my battle skills until then, which is really great. That means the deck is really powerful, and it means that the deck is, it's really a good deck to use. This is one of the combination that I showed you yesterday on the deck preview, and if you haven't got much from the event, say you haven't got the main card, you only got the support card, this is one combination that you could possibly use. It doesn't have to be the same cards that like I have got on my deck, but you could combine these 3 cards. So you could combine Freedom Fighter, which has got the killer skill, which is Immortal Killer, and if you've got 1 copy, well, if you've got the ultimate form, you should have at least 1 copy of Fire Blitz, and you should have 1 copy of the ultra rare if you've got Freedom Fighter. So you could combine those 3 cards with 2 support cards, and it would work just as well. So let's go ahead and remove these 2, and I could swap those 2 with my ultimate form and my master collection card, but I won't do that. What I will do, I would do this. I would combine them, but what I would do, I would use my support card as my lead card, and then I would just swap some of my relic because what the relics will do, the relics will boost, it will boost my Slayer cards as well. So if you have a look, so as you can see, the leader skill has boosted all the cards because it's 300 damage and 600 HP for all Dark Immortal Killer heroes, which Bioblitz and Freedom Fighters are Immortal Killers. So the leader skill boosts all of those cards regardless if they're Commander or Slayer, which is magnificent. And as you can see, only our Blaster Master, which is for my Bioblitz deck, it's the only relic that hasn't boost all my cards. It was just boost the 2 copies of Bioblitz and Freedom Fighter, but all the other relics boost all the cards on the deck. So that's one combination that you could probably think of using, and you will generate your power gems from your Bioblitz and your Freedom Fighter. So this is a combination that I showed you yesterday, where you could use 3 copies of a support card and 2 copies of a main card, or if you only got 1 copy of the main card, you can use 1 copy of a main card, 2 copies of a support card, and just throw in 2 main card or 2 ultimate forms or whatever other cards you have that can be combined with this combination to produce a bit more power gems on the board. And this is my main combo that I'm using, which I showed you yesterday. It's 2 main card, the ultimate form, 1 master collection card, and the ultra rare. And that's one that I'm running currently. So we're gonna see most of these combo in action. So up first is my main combo, which uses 2 main card, ultimate form, master collection card, ultra rare. And on the first turn, we're gonna create lots of power gems, and all these power gems comes from the relics. It comes from the master collection card, the ultimate form, and the 2 copies of the main card. And as you can see, you get a real bang for your buck on the first turn. So it can be considered as a 1-turn deck, but for now we'll call it a 1-turn deck because the bosses are not really strong. But as the bosses get stronger, then you'll definitely have to use your battle skill to actually kill the bosses. So one of the things that you want to do, and I probably do a video on Saturday when the bosses get really stronger, one of the things that you want to do is wait on your passive. So after your first turn, it's a 3-turn cooldown before your passive is then available. So you do your first attack, then you wait 3 turns after that, so it will be 4 turns in total. Then your passive will become active. Once your passive has now become active, you generate your power gems on the board. Then you use your battle skill to get a bit more power gems on the board, and then you do your main attack to get your overkill. But I'll demonstrate that on Saturday when the bosses are strong. As I said, this is the second combination. This is the combination using the 3 support card and the 2 main cards. Now you won't get as much power gems on the board as the previous combination, but you will get quite a few power gems on the board. So as you can see, the damage is not as big as the damage before. So your damage is not as pronounced. So that's our second turn. And you probably need to use your support card battle skill. So there you get your passive on the board. You use your main battle skill and then just match all your power gems. And there you go, the boss is dead. So you can see it's 18 billion straight across, which is good. I was using 1 key, so 1 key doesn't give you massive damage output as 3 keys, but it's a good deck for what it is. Next up is what I call it, mix and match. It's a combination of a Slayer Immortal Killer deck and a Commander Immortal Killer deck. And we're going to use one key, and we're going to see how we get on with this particular deck. This deck also has got the passive where it generates power gems after 3 turns. So on the first turn, you'll get a few power gems on the board as well. What you could do, if you've got one copy of the main card, you could substitute one of the Buyer Blitz for the copy of your main card, and that will work just as well. So you probably need to use the battle skill for your support card just to keep your health up. And we're just waiting on the passive. Here is the passive, and we'll just use the battle skill of our Buyer Blitz and our Freedom Fighter, and then you get the nuke damage. The nuke damage will not help much when it comes to the overkill, but it's a deck that you can use to complete the collection, and you could use it as a deck that can get you relatively quite, what would I say, you wouldn't be in the top 50, but you could be in the top 100 depending on which grouping you're in. If you're in Legend League, you probably would get relegated using a deck like that. Emperor League, you would probably be say within 130, between 130 to 100. If you're in Kings League, you would have quite a better chance to be in the top 100. Paladin League or those lower leagues, you would have a chance to actually compete relatively well with a deck like that. That one, I'll show you that one on the quest. This one, let's see how we get on with this one. So with this one, you would play it a bit differently. You would actually activate the battle skill for activate the battle skill for your main card around about now, because you haven't got any more cards on the board that's gonna produce any more power gems, and your support cards will produce gems on every attack. So every attack you'll get gems from your support cards, and what you want to do is just keep using the battle skill of your support cards every turn. So 3 copies will do the trick, but I've got 4 copies, so I'm using 4 copies. So I won't use a 4th copy. So you will see that the first copy that I use, battle skill, is now ready. So every turn I'm immune to damage. Every single turn I'm immune to damage. Every turn I'm actually immune to damage. It's not a powerful combination, mind you, because we're only matching gems and not power gems. So here comes our power gem production again, and you want to get all your power gems actually lined up, and there we go. Won't give you a massive damage, but at least it's a deck that you could use to get through the event and complete the collection. One of the main thing is to complete the collection to get all the season coins. Season coins are really important to deck building, because the more season coins you collect, the more you'll be able to craft an ultimate form before the end of the season, which is the main objective anyway, to collect your cards, powerful cards. So this one, we haven't got any killer skill apart from the killer skill on the support card. So we're going to activate all our main cards, swap our power gems, and see exactly what we are working with. So we're not really working with much with this one. So this one is not really good. We've got far more power gems on this combination rather than the last combination. But as I keep saying, all of these cards are generation 3 cards. Tick Belang, every single one is generation 3 cards, but they're not putting out the damage output like this one put out. And this one put out quite a larger bang for your buck because of the 4 support cards. So the 4 support cards in this particular combination, just matching gems, is putting out far more damage than this combination that has got 4 main cards on it, that's putting out far more power gems. So you can see the difference. So this combination actually doesn't really work, so we'll get rid of that one. So that one definitely doesn't work. So this one worked relatively good. This one we're gonna see it up against, that one is for the quest. So I'm gonna use this one for the quest. I need an extra key to use it against against a challenge. We need 5 keys, we have only got 4, and up against the ultimate we need 5 keys as well, so we'll probably have to purchase a few keys from the shop. Let's purchase some keys so that we can see that combination in action. So what we'll do, we'll go up against a challenge boss. Let's do a challenge boss. So from the word go, we're producing quite a bit of gems and power gems. And here comes the passive. There goes the passive of all the cards. So all 5 cards has got the same passive. It differs between the support cards and the ultimate form and ultra rare. The ultra rare and ultimate form are producing 4 dark gems and 3 power gems, while the support cards are just producing just gems. But you're still producing quite a bit of gems and power gems each turn. Plus you've got your power gems created by your relics as well. So we're in the last boss, and up to this point we haven't used any of our battle skills. We don't really need to. So that's the combo I'm using for the quest, challenge, and the ultimate, and it works really well. Really well. That's good. We've got 5 more keys, so we can proceed to the next challenge, and we can do this challenge as well. So those are the combinations that I put together. Some work quite well, others don't work at all, and some are really good. So all I said is use your support card as your base. The more support card you have, the better it is for you. So 2 support card I would say would be the minimum. 3 even better. 4 support card, you don't really need 4 support card. 3 support card, I think that's where the sweet point is. So the sweet spot would be 3 support cards and 2 main card, or 3 support card, 1 main card, and another card that would produce a bit of power gems. So what we could do, the combination with Sheena, we could remove one of the support card and actually add the main card in. We're gonna do that as soon as I've completed this challenge. We'll go back and we'll just adjust that combination, and we'll see how we get on with that particular combination, because that's how I actually build my decks. I actually come up with a main deck, then I tweak it as the event goes on. So the deck that I actually started out with, I probably finish with a different deck. So this one will remove one of the support card. because as I said, 3 support cards is where the sweet spot is, and we replace it with one of the main card. So now we've got Sheena, we've got the main card, and we've got 3 support card. 3 support card, as I said, is where I think the sweet spot is. So let's test that theory. If 3 support cards with 2 other cards that produces power gem will actually give you better value for your money. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna wait on the passive of the main card. That's 2. So this is the 3rd attack, and the passive should be available on the next turn. So there's the passive. We activate Sheena, we activate the main card, and we get quite a few power gems on the board. And the damage output has gone up. Not by a lot, but it has gone up. And if we had a card on the board that actually boost commander damage output, it would be a card that would help a bit, because as we know, Slayer decks are different from commander decks, where when you've got a damage boost, it's quite pronounced. You can actually see the massive difference between the deck when it's not boosted and when it's boosted. With commander decks, it's not so pronounced. You will see an increase in your damage output, but not a dramatic damage increase, if you see what I mean. So that's some of the combination that I've got for you. There's other combinations that you could put together yourself. Just remember that you need health, you need power gem production, and those are 2 of the things that would actually help you to do quite a bit of damage. Power gem production, really important. Health, that's the basic. You need health. You need to be healed, or you need immunity. Your support cards have got immunity, and they will help to keep you alive for longer during the battle, and they will produce a lot of gems as well. So this is Octane saying like, subscribe, and as always, leave a comment below. Peace, and have a great day. Bye for now.